We are delighted to have you here at the Phil SME Business Show. This is a business podcast and vodcast dedicated to help SME business owners like you boost your business. On today's episode, we meet Rick Gindup, CEO of Design for Tomorrow, the top branding agency in the Philippines. Now registered in Singapore, the team is working on international projects from Manila to Melbourne to Munich. Stay tuned for a few messages from the sponsors that made this episode happen.
Imagine your business not just reaching its goals, but surpassing them. With Esquire Financing, that vision is not just a possibility, it's reality. Get the cash your business needs in as fast as 3 days, making your barriers become stepping stones. Our partnership is a sure success.
Finding the right talents can take you weeks or months of posting jobs, drowning in resumes, endless interviews, and surprise, they're not exactly the one. BossJob is here to help. We streamline the hiring process by helping you find candidates that are qualified and relevant, all in one app. Don't get stuck in the hiring process. Visit employer.bossjob.com and sign up for a free premium subscription to experience the future of hiring with BossJob.
This is the Phil SME Business Show. I am Trixie Esguerra Abranilla, the CEO and Managing Director of the Philippine SME Business Expo and Network. And today, I feel so privileged to have with us the CEO, Creative Director, and Chief Strategist of Design for Tomorrow, the one and only Rick Gindup.
Thank you for having me. Hello, Trixie. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again. How are you feeling today?
Well, I'm always grateful for the opportunity to really collaborate with people who are doing something beyond just the act of doing business, but redefining what it means to have meaningful work. So I'm grateful that I have a really amazing team that facilitates my life and the lives of all our clients.
Wow, definitely. You know, Rick has a very, very hectic schedule. Pero we're so happy that you're able to make time and will be able to share your story and what Design for Tomorrow really does for the people in the Philippines and the whole world. The first time I heard about Rick, that was the time I needed help. I mean, it was the kind of help that I did not know I needed. Then suddenly, kausap ko na si Rick. Thus, we collaborated and now, look how far we've come. And how about you? Do you have a Phil SME memorable story?
We actually have a soft spot for SMEs because we feel like there is a real need for us to help and champion the independents, because the big organizations and the big brands always have unlimited funds and resources that can dominate the markets. But we feel that the real joy, the real pleasure, and the real meaning happens when you're working with somebody with great vision but don't have access to amazing design.
Yes, and you know what? I for myself, talagang saksi ako dyan. Because when we first started collaborating, that's what they initially offered. We would like to help. So what he did, what their team did, talaga naman nag-offer full branding services to one SME. So can you share more about that?
You know, when you have been blessed and when you're given so much, it brings out gratefulness in you. You have to give back. And then we approached you, that I said, instead of us participating in a booth, why don't we handpick one of the most visionary participants and support them with a full and premium branding program? And we hope, the greatest hope of this collaboration is to bring out the best out of that brand.
Obviously, we have announced it already. It's Touch of Green Manila. But the way the transformation, you would see more about it in May.
And there's plenty of people who applied. And then we were looking at all these applicants. We were looking for something, not just a vision, but something that we feel has that kind of soul. It was not an easy process of selecting, because there are so many worthwhile brands that also needs support and attention. But this one resonated with the team. Everyone was very, very vocal about the support for Touch of Green. They're doing something not just interesting, but also sustainable, and something about that brand really resonated across the board with my team members, and that's why we picked them.
I understand. Kasi when somebody looks at Design for Tomorrow, it would give you, ako, looking at it, parang, oy, this is in the Philippines. Kasi di ba you're servicing majority international clients. But then again, you are still an SME.
Yes.
With only 24 staff. Yeah. Pero the thing here is, it doesn't mean you're an SME and then hanggang Philippines ka lang. Yes. Parang you can reach the whole world. Yes. How did you do that?
Well, with much difficulty, of course. It's never been easy. But no, we started really with that idea. We're so used to foreign consultants going to the Philippines and doing all these amazing programs. And we were so intrigued when we started Design for Tomorrow almost 14 years ago. And I said, what if we can reverse the process? What if a proudly Filipino creative consultant can do what the foreigners do to our country and really put a stamp of Filipino creativity there? So, although it was not really the main motivation on the first 3 years because we wanted to survive, but somehow it's been sort of brewing at the back of our heads. Bibigyan kita ng isang example that I love telling this story because this is how we cultivated this kind of relationships as we grow. So I was in the airport. I got this insistent call. Normally, I do not answer unidentified calls because there's lots of spam or scams. And then, on the other end of the line is a very, persuasive voice that says, "Hi, you don't know me. I got your number from Isabel." Isabel is the co-founder of La Picara, one of the amazing restaurants in Fort Bonifacio in BGC. And she told me that she went to dinner there. She was so in love with this and demanded from the owners who did this. So, Isabel, being one of our really amazing clients and constant collaborator, enthusiastically gave my number to her. So she said, "Look, I am doing this project. I'm launching a beauty and wellness brand for people with autoimmune disease." And it was a very defining moment because I was in the airport en route to Singapore where the brand is based. And then we had a collaboration. She was very happy. And it turned out to be one of the meaningful brands that we have ever developed. And almost 6-8 months later, at the tail end of the pandemic, we got another strange call. And it said, "Hi, we got your number from Singapore, from Founders Beauty. We are reinventing our plant-based frozen dessert, and we would like to relaunch this in Singapore and Bangkok." So this is from Kuala Lumpur. So we did that collaboration again. Almost 7 months later, we got another call. "Hi, we got your number from Kuala Lumpur. We are from Bangkok and we would like to relaunch our plant-based milk." So this is how we grew from a humble Manila studio into getting all these international projects because it's not just how we do it, but the process of doing it that resonated with these founders. They felt that they are properly understood. They felt that we had that kind of facility to really dig deep into the essence of what they're doing and bring it out and express it.
That's amazing, Rick. Those calls are the kinds of strange calls that we like.
Strange calls because you know, unidentified and it's international, and you don't know what kind of call that is. So you get suspicious, and then it turns out to be one of those a really amazing collaboration.
And I know that's not an accident, obviously, because nothing is an accident. And you're really supposed to answer that, and you did. So that gave birth to all the others.
I don't know, you mentioned about nothing is an accident, and I'm Catholic, and I believe in the precision of God's hands, that things happen at the precise moment that you are ready for them. my background is not really in creativity. My major in college is medical technology. And then people always ask me this, how did you end up in design? But the real answer is out of necessity because I came from media and publishing. I met somebody who funded our dream to create our own magazine. And then 3 years later, he had to rechannel his funds into one of the biggest investments that he's doing. So we were suddenly out of job. And then I felt that I had that responsibility for my core team, to give them livelihood, survival, and everything. So we started very humbly in a very dusty garage of a friend's printing press. It's not even a garage because it's just like a tent. And then when it's raining, all the water makes that yes, makeshift talaga. So in that dusty garage, we started with nothing but 3,500 in my pocket and 2 faulty laptops. And we hurriedly put together a portfolio that we got from our editorial work. So we started in that way. That's why we have a soft spot for SMEs, because we understand how it is to bootstrap, to just make use with the little that you have and the little that you know and try to make it work.
And this was 14 years ago?
14 years ago.
See? Pero not so long ago, but look where you guys are now. So, ang galing-galing. So, Rick, now that, we have an idea, Design for Tomorrow is a brand agency. So, can you make us understand what kinds of problem are you exactly solving?
Well, technically, we're not just designing. One of the greatest things that we do is to bring clarity into whatever project that we're taking on. A lot of founders will come to us with a common complaint. They felt misunderstood by their consultants, by their own people. And it's a common struggle because they have this specific vision in their head, but somehow there's a mistranslation of that vision along the way. So when we take on a project, we do not rush into design. We try to make it understandable by interrogating everything about that particular brand. Why does it need to exist? What does it need to happen? And why should everyone support this? Why would people care? And then once you understand all these parameters, then you design and you express it in the most compelling way possible.
I'm so curious. How long does it take for a session like that? For the clarity to come out and for you to say, okay, we've asked you all these questions and with the back and forth, eto na siya.
Trixie, that's also the reason why we love SMEs, because the vision is unfiltered. Our greatest nightmare is going inside a boardroom with 12 executives who cannot agree with each other. Whereas when you're working with, let's say, an SME, a visionary, it's very clear in his or her head what you wanted with this brand. So that eliminates all the unnecessary back and forth. That's why the process is faster instead of taking on a corporate brand where you have to consider every layer of the organization, every point of view. And then you have to make sure that you have to tick off all the boxes and the parameters that's required in order to fully rationalize a brand. So it's a complex process. That's why corporate branding is much more expensive than SME branding. In order for you to optimize or maximize the potential of a branding program, for example, be very, very clear and be very decisive. It will save you a lot of time, it will save you a lot of money, and it will save you from a lot of grief.
Ngayon, naiintindihan ko na. Okay, so if we put a specific number of months with that, no? Kunyari ako, I'm a business owner and I'm like, tama ba itong gagawin kong logo? I have no idea about the design, but I think when I see one, I would know if I want it. Gaano kahaba yung process or kaiksi?
The most decisive client we've ever had, we did it in 6 weeks. And we love clients who are very decisive because it expedites the process and we know exactly where we stand and how to form that direction. The painful process, people who are very tentative, who are unsure about what they're doing. We have a client that it's still running 3 years after, So that's why it's very expensive because they keep on changing course and that's very costly. We don't want to be pretentious and say that the cost does not matter, because it does matter. We are also an SME. We need to be sustainable. We need to survive. But for us, one of the great motivation why we say yes is an amazing vision, an amazing story. So if we fall in love with your story, it doesn't matter how much it will cost. We're gonna take it on.
See, you just have to pitch. You have a high chance of picking their brains and understanding yourself better. Kasi we're talking about clarity. That's what I loved about it. Na, okay, it's not just about branding.
And there are times when I'm ready to say no, and Shaina will sit me down and say, no, you cannot say no because I did my due diligence and they have this amazing thing, and can we just give them a chance? So, you know,
So si Shaina muna yung puntahan nyo kayo.
Shaina or Cesde. And I have a team that always contradicts me, and I love them for always contradicting me, because you get to see an alternate point of view that you do not see. And I love that, and I encourage every member of the team to always bring into the table an opposing point of view, because that's how we grow.
So now, Rick, since you have worked already with many brands abroad and here, what's your take on the things that you see now as compared to how it is abroad? Because I think yung design ng Philippines talagang pang world class eh, right? So what's your take on
we
that?
have proven that, I mean, if we develop a project in Munich or in Vienna, that's why I still love and I still believe in Filipino creativity, because most of our designs, if allowed to really fully manifest, our designs have soul. We care too much. We have that very powerful word called malasakit. It's not just delivering, here's your logo, goodbye. You know, you deeply care that this particular work is gonna succeed, because it's not enough that you succeed. Everyone around you should succeed. So we have that malasakit culture that cannot easily be translated by any foreign designers. And that's why when we work with entrepreneurs like you, for example, it transcends transactional kind of collaboration. It becomes a true partnership.
Now I'm thinking, Rick, how does a brand get to resonate with, you know, a certain target, given na you have to balance the passion versus ito yung pang-market kasi. Yeah, so parang yung professionalism and this is what's marketable versus this is really who I am.
Okay. The first thing that we ask when we are reviewing a brand is ask this question. What is it about you and this brand that nobody else can challenge? You develop the brand identity. It's an assertion of who you are, the true you, and you protect it fiercely from being copied or stolen, because if you lose that, you lose your sense of self. That's why people trademark and protect their brand, because that is an assertion that you exist, that you have value in this world, project that value into the world, because people should be able to identify you from the crowd.
Now, as a follow-up question, because I have a lot of friends also, no, na parang, okay, they run lots of businesses. So it's like, they're not just an entrepreneur, for example, running one company. They're also very active in the parenting community, for example, and then 3 other brands. And then, so sometimes they would tell me, or they would ask, paano, but I don't know who I am na nga eh, kasi I can't naman just pick one. If you have like 5, paano mo malalaman who really are you?
There's so many facets in people, the same with brands, right? Like for example, you are Trixie the entrepreneur, but there's also a brand like Trixie the mother, Trixie the best friend, Trixie the one that will inspire this community of entrepreneurs. So these are all brands. And each of these brands have facets. That's why it's very important that when you're defining the brand from the get-go, what are the values that define you? And the values will be some sort of a moral compass for the brand. So everything that we do, all our decision-making, our worldview is filtered through that. It should be clear to you as our client and your target audiences what we are doing. It should be clear even to your competitors what makes you different from them. By defining the values, you can expand your brand in so many ways, but there should be a consistent pillar that underpins who you are and what you stand for.
So across everything, the value remains intact,
Yes.
right? And you know your mission.
Yes.
So it's easy, very easy to say, okay, I'll do that, or I won't do that, I'm not that.
It's easy to say no if you know who you are and your values. It's when somebody proposes to you and you can simply say, that's not us. Let's not do that particular project because our values are contradicting this kind of proposal.
Love it. Di ba mas madali magtrabaho? Kasi it's very clear.
Yes, it's very clear. That's why I always say this, for the same function, you can buy a cheaper bag in SM, but there are people who will pay, 10 million pesos for an alligator Hermes bag. So there's a gulf of difference there in terms of price points, but the values that they are projecting justifies the pricing.
So, if you're having a great time listening to this and parang feeling mo, I really want to meet Rick and I want to learn more, you know what? You can actually get to meet him up close. Maybe ask him a question pa nga and know more about crafting brands. Because Rick is joining us on May 9, 2025 at the Philippine SME Business Conference in SMX. So that's the day one of the expo. And Rick, tell them, what will you be sharing during your talk?
Well, the talk is anchored on authenticity and how leaders can really craft a brand that resonates. The world is so full of gimmickry. The world is full of so much noises. So how do you stand above the sea of noise? How do you differentiate yourself? How do you define a brand that is so magnetic, that is compelling people to support you and your vision?
See? So if that resonates with you, if that's something that you think, oh my God, I would want to be in that room because there will only be 100. So kung nandun ka, 99 na lang. You'll get to meet Rick up close and who knows, well, establish connection with him, that's where you will find him. So Rick, now the question is, if I'm a member of LSME, the community, and I go to Design for Tomorrow, I email Shaina. So do you have a special offer for the community, or what should we do? Or
when you come to Design for Tomorrow, actually, you don't just go to us because you need beautiful design, but really help define the essence of what you're doing. Lend it a lot of clarity and also figure out how can you express yourself in a differentiating way, because whether you like it or not, you'll be competing with a lot of brands, established and rising ones. So it's very important that when you are in the same room, people should be able to identify you, and not just identify you, understand what you really stand for.
That's what you'll get when you go to Design for Tomorrow. So Rick, as a last question, what is that one lesson, personal or professional man, that you have learned that you would want to share to the world?
I'll tell you a story. Client number 1 called us into the office. We didn't know that they have been shopping around maybe 7 different agencies. Already? Yes, and we are, at the time, we were just starting, right? I told you the story that we didn't have resources, but I think the greatest lesson is a lesson of humility, because we were so young and we were so arrogant. and the CEO pushed a sketch in front of me and said, "This is the logo, what do you think?" And without even thinking twice, like a instant knee-jerk reaction, I told him, if I put 2 mountains, a Nipa hat, a sun and a crow, that's exactly my kindergarten drawing. So my colleague was kicking me under the table and said, shut up. So we left that meeting and said, oh my God, we really tanked it. Next time we need to shut up. And then a week later, those who were called for that meeting was called again for the result. And then the wife of the CEO smiled and said, we picked you. And so we were so shocked. And I said, why did you even pick us? And then the CEO said, I designed that logo myself. So it's really a foot in the mouth moment. But we picked you because out of the 7 agencies that we talked to, you're the one who had the courage to tell me that it indeed needed work. You were not pandering into my ego. You were the ones who truthfully told me that it really needs to be redone. And that was the greatest lesson, not just the humility, but the ability to be honest at all costs. That underpinned our practice. 14 years later, we always go back to that episode that when people come to us, we will give them the unfiltered truth. We cannot change anything if we are in denial. So we jokingly say this, First you slap them, then you hug them. Sort of give them the hardcore truth, and then you console them that there's a hope moving forward with this. 14 years later, client number 1 is still a client. It was bonded with that mutual respect. Yeah. And now it underpinned our ethos at Design for Tomorrow, and we made it into a cornerstone of our decision making that we will not work with a brand who will make us lie on their behalf.
Wonderful. Kitang-kita yung values, kitang-kita, wow. If you want to know more, they will be at the PhilSME Business Expo also, May 9 and 10. Just go to their booth, Design for Tomorrow. You'll meet Shaina there. Alam niyo na. And of course, Rick, right there. And bago pala tayo, nakalimutan ko to. Rick, meron ka bang business joke?
Stay tuned for a few messages from the sponsors that made this episode happen.
Looking to elevate your brand and product to the next level? Connect with Cube Digital Smart Locker. Cube offers smart locker ownership, partnership, and franchising opportunities for current and future business partners. Integrate your brand and products with Cube Digital Smart Locker for a future-ready world. Visit www.cubesmartlockers.com to learn more. Experience innovation. The future is here.
Save time, effort, and cost with GreenTape. GreenTape is a multi-sector e-procurement platform that has been built for both small and large businesses. Add speed, accuracy, and transparency to your procurement process with GreenTape. Learn more about GreenTape via our website on www.greentape.sg.
Rick, meron ka bang business joke?
We're not good at jokes. I was just telling Shaina about it. We're not good at jokes, but maybe we can do it in a different way. Instead of a joke, we always say to our potential clients that if you do not do your branding right, it's like winking to a woman in the dark. You know what you're doing, the woman doesn't.
I love it! Oh my goodness. Love it. Thank you so much, Rick. Feel free to invite them over to hear you talk at that conference.
I would like to invite you to come to the talk at the PhilSME this May. I promise you it's going to be insightful. You'll be hearing authentic stories on some of the messed adventures that we had in the last 14 years. And we hope that it can unlock something on how to really craft your brand in the most authentic way possible. So hopefully you can really support PhilSME by registering and being part of this really amazing event. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thank you also for supporting the PhilSME Business Show. Thank you so much.
Always a pleasure, Trixie.
If you like this show, like and tap the follow button. Please feel free to leave us a review before you go, as this will definitely help more SME business owners in the Philippines. Thank you. Until the next episode.